Well, actually, I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
I don't have ADD. My brother does.
Okay.
And I was just wondering, throughout the years, does his symptoms make... I don't know, I always thought he was lazy, but say simple chores like doing the dishes or taking out the rubbish, he does it in a shortcut way. And like throughout the years, I always say like you're doing it like too rushed, and he misses out a lot of things. Is that because of the ADD or?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of heads now.
Definitely.
Yeah, because like I would say the dishes, when you look at the dishes, there'll still be some dirt or grime on it, and he might miss a few. Like he doesn't do the bins and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just wondering. Yeah, if that's
My
okay,
non-ADD
case,
related advice is buy a dishwasher. They are the best thing.
Yes.
I at least commonly miss
Buy a
couple of
dishwasher.
dishes if
Sorted.
I'm
Okay.
in the living room or something.
Yeah.
That's. But I'm just there's lots of things in general too. Like if I tell him something, he'll always not do it or forget.
Yeah,
It's
that's normal. Absolutely.
Hey,
okay, so it's good to
JK,
know that's actually part of it.
Yeah, actually, JK, can I pick your brain for a second? Because being in here as a non-ADHD person, how do you cope with when your brother does that? What's it like for you? I'm curious because we all do
the
that.
thing. I get angry and I always tell him, I'm like, why do you always forget, or why do you like do it so rushed? Like, I show him, I'm like, oh, it's like make sure the dirt of dish is gone. Like I show him each dishes, and I thought that would stick in his head, but over the years, he just kept doing it. And it was only about last year he went to the doctors and he got diagnosed with ADD. So that's why I'm thinking about it. I'm like, maybe it's because of that. So I just wanted to clarify if that was the reason why.
Anybody want to comment? It's good.
The only thing I have to say is that people with ADHD that tend to forget what they're supposed to do or how they're supposed to do it. Getting angry is probably the thing that makes them forget. I mean, that doesn't help them remember.
Right.
And,
Well, the methods I've tried to do, and it gets irritating, and
there has to be a natural consequence that they buy into. But you getting angry as a consequence won't work.
Yeah,
really
I realized.
No, you know what?
Yeah.
Really well put. There has to be a consequence that he signs on with, because there's two things that I have found helpful in this. Number one is being able to talk about it as, look, I know this is not you being careless and lazy. I know this is the ADD. So what can we do to improve the odds together as a team? That helps a lot. That really helps a lot.
Yeah, that does.
And the other thing is, if you can get some kind of reward that he's like really excited about, make your bed 5 days in a row and we'll go get a pizza. But really, so in general, I'm going to do a quick mini lecture, for the newer guys. One of the primary aspects of ADHD is that we don't process dopamine the way most people do. What dopamine does for you is it's what gives you a good feeling when you do something right, or even just when you do something. And so really doing the dishes, putting gas in the car, those are like major pain in the behind they have to do. They're not like, oh, good, I got this done. The room looks good. I'm doing what I'm supposed to. So anything that you can do to give him just like a positive feedback on doing stuff. I know for you guys, like I do a lot of talking to wives of ADHD guys, and they're like, oh my God, you mean I got to reward you every time, you put the dishes in the sink and get your clothes on the right way? And I kind of laugh and say, yeah, pretty much. It's like we really, because we're not doing this positive chemical stuff up here on our own, we really need people around us to be giving us positive feedback. It doesn't mean you have to cheer every time they take a breath, but to be able to find a positive reward feedback thing is going to get you a ton of mileage. It's really, really important.
So, to JK, you said the other way I would look at it from coming from a person that has ADHD is doing the dishes. There's more interesting things that we could be doing in our heads than doing the dishes. So I don't know how you're going to make the dishes become an exciting thing to do, but he's already thinking of a million other things that he'd rather do than not do dishes. And maybe the reason he doesn't clean them as well as he could because he doesn't think that's a massively important thing in his life or in his world, and that there's more important things that he could be doing with his energy or his time. So that's the only way I would look at it, because I hate washing dishes, and I have a dishwasher, but I've got 2 kids and a wife, so I do my bit around the house, which is sometimes to wash the dishes. But there's other things. What do you do with him? Like, what does he like doing, and how do you reward what he likes doing with his ADD? Is there anything that he does that you think is particularly amazing, and that maybe
he's actually really intelligent. Like, that's the thing. He's very smart. He can solve the Rubik's cube. Like, he does all that. He knows the methods and all that. And but I was just wondering, because it's throughout these. Like, this is the 15 plus. Yeah. Another thing that annoys me is we have a bath mat in the bathroom, and it's for when you get out of the shower and it dries up. But what we do is we always hang it up when it's not in use, so it can dry quicker.
It doesn't hang up.
He never hangs it. So when he finishes the shower,
I get told off for hanging up the bath mat.
Yeah. So
but I've told him 20, 30, 50 times. Yeah, but I was just like, really gets to me. I'm like, how is he not, after all these times telling him, he still doesn't do it? So
he may not even notice the towel on the floor.
Yeah, I often just notice that sort of thing. It's not that I don't want to hang my dressing gown up in the bathroom and, I leave it there, or that I don't want to hang up the bath mat. I just don't notice it's not hung up, I just don't. It's just trying to remember, it just doesn't, the trigger isn't there that the bath mat isn't hung up at all in the first place.
Sometimes you're in a hurry and you're exiting out of there as fast as possible and you don't look down. It's as simple as that. But the thing that gets in my way with dishwashing, vacuuming, etc., is tomorrow they're going to be just as dirty.
Yes.
Why bother? Yeah. That's how it feels anyway.
I just want to throw this in because this is my favorite story. My thing was always, I don't want to do this until it's a huge mess, because I want to see a difference. I want to see a difference before and after. Mm-hmm. If it's always clean, I don't feel like it's worth my time. But if it's a huge mess, then I do something and it looks good, I can go, yay. That was my weakness.
I'm gonna make Emma second.
There was one other. I know about the bath mat. One other thing that can be helpful too is if you figure out a way to make it a game. Just look up gamification. There's a whole bunch of. There's even apps that do this. But my thought with the bath mat would be like, if I walk into the bathroom and see that you hung the bath mat up, I'm going to give you a nickel. I don't know. It can even be stupid. It doesn't have to be anything profound, but just so it becomes a game between the two of you. Definitely not. If it's not up there, you get a demerit. But if it is up there, I'll play your favorite song, or some way to make it fun. Because you're right, we just don't think of this. Lawless, I loved what you said. I had forgot about this. We are always thinking, I could be using this time to do something else. That's always going on up here. Always.
Yep.
Well,
it's good to this is my first time entering. I just saw this room about ADD, and I'm like, I want to actually ask these questions that relate to my brother, and if it does relate to you guys. And hearing this now is actually, it's really helpful and good information. I can definitely use real world of my brother and that positive. I never really actually did positive like reinforcement and to try to solve it because I'm yelling at him or getting angry like throughout the years. Like I said, he keeps doing it, and I'm like, how does it not stick into his head? So I got to try a different method.
Yeah,
and a lot of props as well for even admitting it as well. Like even saying that it's quite brave to be that brave and say, do you know, I would shout at him and tell him off. I think I've got to give you a lot of props for just being that straight. You didn't lie. You came straight to the truth. And I don't know what your brother's like, but he might be implicit or explicit, so you can be that blunt with him and say, look, I now I understand why you do what you do. So let's come up with another way. What way would you come? How would you reward yourself if you did good things? And see what he says. He might go, nothing really, but you can say, well, I'm going to reward you for telling you how great you are. Do you know what I mean? So you just said how highly intelligent. Have you ever told him how intelligent you think he is? Because that might be a start, and then it might open up to you.
Yeah, no.
Well done, Jacob, man. A lot of props.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's brilliant. Ask him. I forgot to say that too. Great. Ask him, what would you take as a reward? What would you like? Because even, you know what, even that process of working it out is gamifying your guy's life. And it will be fun. Trust me, we are the most curious people. There's always, what can I do new? What can I do new? What can I do new? And figure washing the dishes, laundry, cleaning your house, it's the same thing every time. Of course we're not trying to.
Are any of you techs or in the house? Is in technology or anything? The only thought was that you can, for things like a bath mat, it's really tempting to rig up a Raspberry Pi, say, a little beam. There's other ways to do it, and it may be overcomplicating things. You know, when you leave the bathroom and cross the beam, a little jingle goes off that you record together that goes, "Bath mat, hang me up," or something stupid. But, you know, it's just like, I always tend towards technology fixes because I'm a technologist. But, hey, may work, I don't know.
That was a good one, though.
At least it'd be a fun project to build, you know.